Good morning, everyone. I am broadcasting live, as you can see, from beautiful Boquete, Panama. And the sun has just come out in full bloom from behind the lingering clouds this morning. I decided to come outside because nature is the grand example and the grand healer. And a true mystical experiencer, one who envelops the mystical experience and lives it, uses nature as their refuge, as their teacher, and their great cave, sanctuary, temple, tomb, ritualistic place. Because nature encourages the human mind to slow down, to remember what is important, to focus on loving acceptance of life all around. In nature, there is constant silence. Now, the mystic knows that silence is different from what we normally think of silence being, which is defined as no sound. No sound. And yet, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Sorry about that slight microphone adjustment. The silence is a metaphor to the mystic. It's also very paradoxical, for it contains the essence of everything, all intelligence, all knowledge, all experience. It contains the truth of time and space. It contains the words of wisdom, those intuitive hunches that are always beckoning us to tune into. And I often wear my little badge. I don't exactly know if you can see it. Here it is. And the badge says silence. Silence. And you probably think it rather strange that I'm broadcasting to you this morning, talking about silence and running my mouth the whole time. But I am attempting here to convey a message. Because as I've shared with you many times, I get up very early so that I can be not only in the silence, but with it. I come outside in the dark, even before the first glimmers of daylight start to shine, even before the the awareness that dawn is about to break. There is that perfect peace as night gives way to light. the light of day. It's like the finalization of a 24-hour period. And the mystic is ready to burst into the new adventure that doesn't lie just in the day or the week or the month or the year, but in the very second of ripeness, of perfect bloom. The mystic is constantly in tune with one word: perfection. The perfection of it all. Now, does that mean human standards are met? Of course not. Does that mean that searching minds looking for right order, correct way, protocol, law and order to be followed, rules to be comprehended and obeyed? No. The mystic doesn't care in an honest, godly way about the external limitations that life would constantly attempt to impose upon the mystic. Because the mystic, if he or she is one thing, it is the rebel. But not in a caustic, arrogant, or defiant way. There's no defiance in the mystic heart. There is complete compliance in the form of acceptance of all the rules and regulations that exist on earth. They're an acceptance of the rules and regulations. The fact that they have been brought into this thing called realm of order. In order to live in this place, you must follow. They own the fact that a group, a person, authority, has come up with these formulas and chooses to ask all of those in the area to live by them. But they just don't care. They know that some kind of divine protection is theirs if they but come from a pure heart, a heart of gold, a heart of innocence, a heart of truth. So all the screaming voices inside are silenced. That's what the mystic silence is about. It's not dwelling in a deprivation chamber where the outside world is ignored or avoided at all costs. No, the mystic is willing to go into the fire every moment, burn, but rise as the phoenix. The one who is impervious to attack, true attack. Yes, their bodies can be tortured. Their liberties can be taken away. But their truth and the essence of it remains pure and solid and complete. Mystics have been tortured over the centuries by authorities who see them as a threat. And they are, to conventionality, to the laws of the land. But they're a perfect threat, using spiritual terms. Why? Because in their law breaking, they still maintain the air of compassion. So whatever they do, they're going to do it in a loving way, just like Gandhi. Passive, resistant, a loving way. Just like Mother Teresa, going through the streets of Calcutta and rescuing, but not from a point of degradation. Oh, you poor, miserable creatures, I'm going to lift you up. No. But from a standpoint of, ah, you're one of us, a child of the divine. I can be an example of service. So the mystic heart is all about rising above the limitation of law. Law is good until it's no longer needed, just like discipline. It's wonderful until one day the mystic heart wakes from this deep, deep sleep. And the mystic mind says, I follow truth, and it will never, ever cause me to harm myself or anyone else. Not really. Yes, others can be disappointed by our actions when we follow this trend, this supreme um, gift. But it's not follow that we're doing. The mystic doesn't follow. The mystic metamorphosizes into the beingness of mysticism. In other words, as Buddha says, right conduct. Right conduct pours out of the mystical heart. It's pure. It's uncontaminated with greed or lust or hate or insecurity. It's filled with fearless compassion to serve the world. And at the same time, serve one's own humanity. But what the mystic needs becomes totally different from what the average person says they need. And not that the mystic is special or better than. No. He understands equanimity. She follows her heart, which says, we're all one here. We're all equal. Laws may attempt to segregate and identify and punish. But the mystic says, the truth speaks to me and through me all the time. And they go about their way in a non-hurtful way to themselves or others. And that is why I stress the importance of considering being a radical mystical. Radical because of the world looking at this way of being, which is not a way. This allowance. It's so different and yet so pure. So it's why I stress giving it your consideration to go into the world of radical mysticism. Even if you think about one premise and adopt one small aspect naturally without force, it could change your life. Be at peace. Until we talk again, namaste.